back to Boisterous Cock Farmstead. In our previous episode, which was actually just filmed earlier today, I showcased this pallet breaking down tool and opened it up, put it together, put it to work, shared my views on it. I'm actually really happy with it. The boards came out in pretty good shape for the most part. The ones that fractured were just not in great condition, so that's going to be a big part of it. But a lot of them came out with nails, as they should. So what I have to do now is I've got to pound out the nails on the boards that I'm going to use, and I've got a few runners. So it's the runners off of two separate pallets that we're going to use. Plus I've got 4 of these slats, so I need to remove the nails from these 4 slats. Then we can get to our planning phase of this cat house. Speaking of cats, I got a cat moving the tripod there.
Say hello, Elsa.
Okay, so the scrap piece that I've got here is a little over 8 feet long, but there is an angled cut on that end there. So I'm going to focus on just this top portion here. And the design I plan to use is actually going to be 2 stories. So the bottom story is going to be where they can sleep, and the top is going to be where I can actually put their food bowl, and that way they won't be on top of each other there. And I played around with the idea of making, you know, angles and 2 different square foot areas or whatever for each level, but I'm going to keep it simple. Each floor is going to have the same footprint. They'll just be stacked on top of each other, and then we'll have an angled roof on the top there. So that'll actually use the least amount of metal, and it'll give them the most amount of space. So I feel like that's a win-win. So that's going to be our dictating factor. And the metal itself is 20 inches wide, but you've got the ridges that need to line up with that as well. So I think what we're going to do is somewhere between 30 and 32 inches. Depending on, once I cut the metal, I'll overlap it and see what that measurement is. Then I'll start working on the frame itself. But somewhere around 30 to 32 inches wide and 24 inches deep is what I'm going to shoot for. And it'll probably be, I'm thinking it's going to be about 30 inches high at the highest point. And we'll have a little bit of a pitch to the roof as well. So let's see how it goes. so before I put the roof on, I'm gonna move this out to where I think I want to set this for the cats to sleep. All right, so I think I found a spot. They had been sleeping in here, and I had this piece of wood over the top. So basically I just took that hay that was in there and brought it over here, put hay in that bottom level there. I'm going to attach this board for the roof with hinges, and then I'll come through and once I have the hinge holes drilled where I want them, I'm going to take that off. I'll install the roof. I'll cut all the screw head or the screw threads flush so that there's not going to be poking down into anything there, and then I'll install the roof back on there. So let's get to that. All right, so I've had my cats sleeping all over the place. Sometimes they were in my hay trailer, sometimes they were in a wheelbarrow out here, and I just wanted to get them something that they could sleep in and I can feed them in without the chickens coming in and destroying their food bowl. So I used almost everything was scrap. Outside of the fasteners that I used and the hinges, everything was left over from previous projects, or it was reclaimed, like breaking down those pallet. So if you want to see the review for the tool that I got for breaking down pallets, I'll leave that in the description as well. But let's do a little tour. All right, so that is it for that project that I have been long trying to get done. It took me a good 4 hours or so. I got to get my chores done here and get over and pick up my son, and I will leave you guys with that. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already subscribed to our channel. Click the bell notification so that you're notified of new content when they come out. And as always, thanks for joining us, and God bless.